It is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Hey Rock On Beer viewers, time for another SJPorr Challenge beer review. I have in my possession Peach. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. Let me help you out there a little bit. It is Peach Session Pale Ale with lactose, oats, and Simcoe hops. 3.7% ABV, 24 IBU. Bottled on 04/09/2016. Bottle conditioned. Thanks for that, for letting me know that. And this is from our good friend number 88C35C26M. And I got the webpage open up here. Let's read the little description. This is a session pale ale with peaches, intended to emulate a peach dessert, but with a piney bite from the Simcoe to balance it out. Grain bill, we got Golden Promise, oats, biscuit, caramel malts, lactose, and our hops are Simcoe, just Simcoe. And in the secondary, we had peaches, and 3.7%. So cool. Peach pale ale. This could be really neat. I wonder what dessert it's. Maybe peach melba. I could see that with peaches and lactose sugar. This is gonna be a really cool beer with the if the peaches come out really nicely. Been really digging like hoppy fruit beers recently. They're getting really big up in this part of Europe. So, all right. Oh, there's a little hiss. Oh, bigger hiss. I was a little afraid. I've had some bad luck on these PET bottles. I don't know, but just a tiny bit of water rinsed out my Tiku glass. Get that little bit of water out there and let's pour this sucker. Yeah, let's be aggressive. Be aggressive. Yeah, guys, I do not know what is up with these. I don't know if something happened in shipping to me with these PET bottles. I'm not 100% sure, but as you can see, it poured out. I poured it as aggressive as I dared to, and we still didn't get a very big head here at the top. But yeah, let's take a look at it anyway. Definitely a super murky beer. I'm trying not to spill it on my keyboard here in front of me. But yeah, kind of murky, yellowish, orangish color. I bet if I hold it up to the light, I bet it glows. Glows a little bit, yeah. Nice. But yeah, definitely a very, very hazy beer, which especially with oats in it, I don't doubt that. We didn't get a yeast, did we? No, we didn't get a yeast. No head to speak of, tight little ring of bubbles. My disclaimer, I guess, as for the last few reviews, is that I don't know. I'm starting to think it must be me and not them. That the bottles just didn't travel well, because it's been in the bottle now for over a month. So I can see it was bottled on the 4th of September, and it is the 10th of October when I am drinking this. But let's move on. Let's move on to positives. Oh man. it smells like peaches. Oh, that is such a huge peach aroma. Yeah, it's a nice, nice like fresh sliced peach, or you know what? It's got a bit of a sweetness to it, so it's kind of like a peach candy. We get these in Denmark. You can get these little candies that are they taste just like peaches. They're definitely not peaches. They're candy, but they smell a lot like this. They have a really peach. And it's not like I'm saying it's artificial. It has a definitely not artificial smell to it, but oh, peaches! It's so cool. It's so right off the top. Getting some oats underneath, a little bit of that oatiness. I use oats a lot in my beer, and I recognize this. I'd recognize this smell anywhere. I use a large amount of oats, usually in my pale beers, so definitely get that underneath there. Not picking up much hops, but I'm gonna dive in here. Ooh. Yeah, the Simcoe hops definitely augment the flavor. I was expecting a big peach burst, and I do taste the peach for sure. But the Simcoe, yeah, it does. It just like that says, it gives it that some pininess. Yep, it's very full-bodied, very sweet, and in fact, it's very, very sweet. 3.7%. It almost tastes like it has sugar in it. Obviously, it has lactose sugar in it, but that is really coming out. But yeah, hops, lactose, and Simcoe or peaches. Jeez. Yeah, definitely get the pininess talked about. I'm gonna take this. Oh, I should talk about like sorry about that. The body is, like I said, it's very full, very kind of sticky and sugary, and it is but there's no carbonation to it, which is kind of a bummer on that. But I am going to make some notes. I'm going to let this warm up a little bit, and I'll be back in just a second. Hey guys, I'm back. I am back with 88C35C26M, the Peach Session Pale Ale. You can see I'm well on my way through the glass. I just did my online notes, and I wanted to wrap it up a little bit here. So, if I give it a little spin, it does get a little bit of a fizz, but I do have to say that there's pretty much no carbonation in it when you're drinking it. There's just a little bit of fizz, but it's so my final thoughts on it are, especially as it warmed up, it's very sweet. It's very full-bodied. It does have lactose and oats in it, but the lactose is definitely the star of the show, or the culprit, depending on how you want to go with that. It is, like I said, it's very sweet, and it has an intense sweetness to it. So I get the hops. There's a firm bitterness, which when it was a little bit colder, I thought maybe it might be too bitter, but as it warmed up, it was fine. I actually dug the bitterness to it. But the lactose is very, 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 very present in the taste, and it gives not only like a really full mouthfeel, which is fine. I like that. I like lactose in IPAs and pale ales. But in the aftertaste, it does have a distinct sugariness to it, which I didn't dig as much. I guess that since it's meant to mimic a dessert, that you could make an argument for that's you know, that kind of sugariness is you know, goes along with that. But for me, it's a little distracting from some of the other flavors. Not that, and I'm not saying that in like a way, but it's definitely, for my taste, it's a little too sweet, and I would have to go with the lactose as the reason that maybe it has a little bit too much lactose. This is one of those times where I would really like to have a little bit more information about beers, like when was the lactose added, how much, and stuff like that. But of course, that's, you know, that's the point of reviewing these beers without knowing that much about them, is you get, you know, an honest opinion from another brewer. And I do have to give my honest opinion that I find it a bit too sweet. That being said, I do like the flavor underneath the sweetness. I think that the peach is there. It's got a nice peachy flavor. I do like the Simcoe hops. I was wondering about that. I was wondering about like sweet peach and pine, but I do find that they play kind of nicely together. But I also really like Simcoe, so. But they are like a fun contrast to each other. It's unfortunate that I can't that this isn't carbonated, because I feel like I can't give it its you know, I can't give it the fair shake that it deserves, because it's kind of missing a key component. But you know, it's definitely a cool experiment. I think you've really nailed the peach aroma and the flavor in the beer. If you could just scale back the sweetness of it, scale back the lactose, and I'm going to say leave the Simcoe. That's actually pretty cool. I dug that anyway. But yeah, like carbonated, I think that this could be almost a totally different beer. I still think it would be too sweet, but I do think that the carbonation might help balance with that bitterness, might help balance the lactose out a little bit more. So yeah, so that's it's a you know, for me it's a mixed bag. Now I'm looking at 24 IBUs. It definitely tastes a little bit more bitter than that. I'm not sure why. Now I'm rambling. Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm going to say that there is a anyway, well shoot, now I'm totally, no, I'm not going to, forget the bitterness. It is, yeah. So I think it's a really cool beer, less lactose sugar, and it could be like less lactose sugar and carbonation. I think that this would elevate this beer like out of frame. So yeah. Cheers to 88C35C26M. Thanks so much for making this and entering the challenge. I enjoyed brewing it. I enjoyed drinking it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next review.